Okay, you know the feeling, right? You start a project with this huge burst of energy, feeling amazing, and then an hour later, you're just completely swamped. Well, in this explainer, we're going to put a name to that feeling, figure out why it happens, and most importantly, learn exactly how to beat it. Just picture it. You've had your coffee, you've got the perfect playlist going, and you decide today is the day. Today, you're going to tackle that big thing you've been putting off. You feel absolutely unstoppable, like you can do anything. But you and I both know that feeling, well, it doesn't always last. Because then, maybe an hour later, something just shifts. You're sitting there in this mess that you created and you feel totally defeated. That fire you had at the beginning, it's gone. And it's been replaced by this just crushing wave of overwhelm. So what is that? What is this rapid free fall from like 200% motivation all the way down to zero? This is what we're calling the motivation crash. And it's the first major clue to understanding what's really going on under the surface. A perfect example is the closet. You pull out one little drawer and then another one. And for a minute, it feels so productive. But then you look up and you are literally standing in a mountain of clothes. The room looks 10 times worse than when you started, and the task, it just feels endless. So what is happening here? What's this invisible force that just swoops in and completely sabotages our best intentions, draining our willpower in like an instant? Well, it turns out that invisible force actually has a name. And the minute we can name our enemy, that's when we can start to fight back. The enemy is called declutter escalation. It's that exact moment when a small, totally manageable task just spirals out of control until it becomes this huge, overwhelming monster. And it's not just about closets, right? This happens with work projects, studying, even just trying to clean the kitchen. And here is why giving it a name is so powerful. Once you can identify it, you can stop it in its tracks. The second you can say to yourself, okay, this is declutter escalation happening right now, you've basically taken away all its invisible power. This is the hidden reason so many New Year's resolutions fail. We try to change everything all at once, the task escalates, and we just quit. So, we've named the enemy, but to really defeat it, we need to understand why it works. What's actually happening inside our brains when we hit that wall? It really just comes down to a basic survival instinct. See, when a task becomes chaotic and feels totally endless, our brain actually perceives that as a threat. It's a potential waste of precious energy with no clear end in sight. So as a self-protection thing, it just cuts off your motivation. But on the other hand, when a task feels structured and, this is the important part, stoppable, our brain feels safe. It gives us the green light to keep on going. So the whole key is to keep our brain feeling safe. How do we do that? Well, we need an arsenal of strategies. So here are 7 really concrete ways you can stop declutter escalation before it even gets a chance to start. All right, number 1, and this is the absolute foundation of everything. Keep it small. Seriously, don't even think about the entire closet. Focus on one single drawer, or maybe just one shelf. Your only goal here is to prevent that overwhelming mountain of chaos from ever forming in the first place. Okay, this next one is a total game changer. Limit your time. A task can't escalate if it has a hard stop, right? So just set a timer on your phone for, say, 20 minutes. When that alarm goes off, you are done, no exceptions. This creates a really clear boundary that tells your brain, hey, this is contained, we're safe. To stop that feeling of chaos, you need to have clear steps. Don't just dive in headfirst. Create a super simple, repeatable plan. For a drawer, it's easy. 1, empty it out. 2, sort through it. 3, put back only what actually belongs there. See, structure is the ultimate enemy of overwhelm. You can also create physical limits to literally contain the mess. Just grab one box or maybe a laundry basket, and here's the rule. You can only work with what fits inside of it. This creates this incredibly powerful physical boundary that stops the mess from spreading and taking over your whole room. Now, this one is a crucial little psychological trick. Celebrate your wins. Every single drawer you finish, every 20-minute session you complete, that's a victory. You have to actually acknowledge it. This literally gives you a little dopamine hit, which builds momentum and makes you actually want to come back and do more tomorrow. Okay, now just take a second. Let this question really sink in. It is such a powerful tool for reframing your thinking right in that moment when you feel like giving up.
And that question leads us right into our next strategy. Think of your future self. Asking that question shifts your focus away from the temporary mess that's right in front of you and onto the future reward of a clean, calm space. Your goal isn't to finish everything today. It's just to leave the space a little bit better than you found it. And finally, number 7, don't be afraid to get some support. You really don't have to do this stuff alone. Just having a friend or your partner in the room with you, even if they're not actually helping, just sitting there can provide just enough accountability to keep you from getting overwhelmed and throwing in the towel.
So we've got our arsenal. We know how to fight back against a messy closet. But as we start to wrap up, it is so important to realize that this whole thing, it's much bigger than cleaning. This is about how you conquer your biggest goals.
I mean, this exact same pattern, starting way too big and then crashing and burning, it affects everything. Think about it. A new fitness plan where you try to go to the gym 7 days a week from day one, or that massive work project you try to pull an all-nighter to finish. It's all just declutter escalation wearing a different disguise. So if there is one single thing to take away from all this, it's this. Real, lasting change never, ever comes from a massive, explosive effort that just burns you out. It comes from small, structured, and steady progress. That right there, that is the secret to achieving almost any goal you have. And as we finish up, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Whether it's a messy desk, an ambitious goal at work, or a new habit you want to build, what's the first escalation in your life that you're going to stop?